Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about the latest regarding Justin Fields and the Falcons potentially wanting to trade up for a quarterback, just kind of round up everything that's going on at the Combine. We're going to look at Mel Kiper's first-round mock draft, and then we're going to react to the NFLPA survey that came out yesterday and run through some of the grades and notes that were left for Arthur Blank and the Falcons. But really quickly, we did this in January, and it kicked ass. And we're kicking ass again in February. I was looking at the live subscriber numbers between Falcons Today and Saints Now here at Chat Sports. Once again, we are doubling up Saints Now. We are skull-fucking them, and let's not stop. If you want to go into 2024 1-0 against the Aints, hit the sub button down below. Now let's talk about the latest from the Combine, where there is a rumor out there, and I've got good reason to believe it, that the Chicago Bears, the Washington Commanders, and the New England Patriots, who all pick 1, 2, and 3, want to stay at 1, 2, and 3. So for anyone thinking about jumping up to the top 3 to get a quarterback, I wouldn't bank on it. Jeff Howe from The Athletic wrote this: the Patriots really want to draft a quarterback with the number 3 pick. The front office wrapped up its pre-free agency meetings a week ago and seems to be on the same page that the best way to jumpstart this rebuild and yield long-term success is to find a young quarterback in the NFL draft to build around. What have I been saying for months? It'd be cool if the Falcons could let a Jayden Daniels or Drake Maye fall to them at 8. It'd be lofty for them to trade up and get them, but it's likely not going to happen. And this is where we stand right now, where you've got the Bears who want to go get Caleb Williams, the Commanders who are absolutely taking a quarterback, and the only question mark was the New England Patriots. And now, if we're going to take Jeff Howe from The Athletic's word, they're not going to leave 3 to go get another player. They want to take a quarterback. They want to get the sloppy seconds from the Commanders, whether that's Jayden Daniels or Drake Maye. So the Falcons at 8, they may want to move up. They could make offers to move up, but it takes 2 to trade. And it doesn't seem like anyone wants to trade back. So with that being said, remove Drake Maye, Caleb Williams, and Jayden Daniels from your Christmas list. Let's run through the updated Falcons QB options in my preferred order. Option number 1 is go get Justin Fields. I've been saying it for a few weeks now. I would much rather trade for Justin Fields than sign Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles tear at his age to a 2-year, 80, 90, 100, whatever it costs, $1 million contract. Let's go get Justin Fields. If for whatever reason Fields gets traded elsewhere, Kirk Cousins re-signs in Minnesota, I'm okay with Russell Wilson on a veteran minimum deal. It's not going to put a lot of butts in seats. It's not the sexiest option. It's an option. And it's better than these options, where you take J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, or Bo Nix, hopefully not at 8, but if you're not getting Justin Fields, then you have your second rounder still to get one of those 3 quarterbacks. And if you don't get any of these guys right here, it's go Braves. I mean, it's just, let's just watch baseball all summer and put football out of our minds, which as a Falcons YouTuber, I should not suggest that. I am rooting for people not to come watch the Falcons, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. If they don't get any of these guys, it's going to be tough sledding in 2024. But the goal and the dream and the priority is Justin Fields, and I'm very confident that Justin Fields will be an Atlanta Falcon. So pick a quarterback for me. Would you rather have Fields, Wilson, or Kirk Cousins? There are layers to this question. This guy cost you a second-round pick. This guy is the worst of all 3. Maybe not even like the worst, but he's got the lowest ceiling long-term, I would say, and he's the cheapest. And I would say Kirk Cousins, if you're looking to win the most in 2024, he's the best of all 3, but he's the most expensive. So you've got a baby bear, mama bear, papa bear situation in terms of price and skill level. I'm going with Justin Fields, and everything I'm hearing from the NFL Combine is it's the worst kept secret in Indianapolis. The Atlanta Falcons want Justin Fields, and the Chicago Bears are going with Caleb Williams and are going to trade Justin Fields. Justin, welcome home. Now, let's talk about Mel Kiper's latest mock draft, which he dropped amid the NFL Combine, and I was curious to see what he was thinking for Atlanta at number 8 yet again, and let's run through it. He has Caleb Williams going first overall. He maintains Jayden Daniels over Drake Maye, which is a unique opinion. He's got Marvin Harrison going number 4 to the Cardinals. He's got J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle out of Alabama, being the first one selected, going to the Chargers. Roma Dunze, this one stung, going to the Giants at 6. Joe Alt is a Tennessee Titan. And then Dallas Turner, one pick ahead of Malik Nabers for the Falcons, ahead of Brock Bowers as well. So let's talk about Dallas Turner, because we have talked about the edge rusher class a lot on this channel. And a lot of you guys have given me some fair feedback points in the comment section of, hey, I think you're being a bit too tough on Dallas Turner. And I like what we see out of Dallas Turner. But this is partially my issue with edge at number 8. And it's what Mel Kiper wrote. And that is, it's not about the player so much. It's about the need for Atlanta. When you're picking top 10, you got a lot of needs. So I'm not interested in taking a player in top 10 because he plays a position that you need. If you're picking 19th overall, you don't have a long list of needs most likely. You might just need a new wide receiver. And if that's the case, you can go get a new wide receiver and take the best one on the board. But for the Falcons at pick number 8, they've got a long list of needs. And so if they think Terrion Arnold or Malik Nabers is way better than Dallas Turner, then go get those guys, right? You need help at those spots anyway. Go get the best player. But I did watch a lot of Dallas Turner film because I am warming up to the idea of him being the likely selection. Whether it's my call or it's not my call, whether I like that call or not, it definitely feels like there are signs indicating Dallas Turner is a very legitimate and a very realistic option for Atlanta with the 8th overall pick. 15.5 tackles for loss and 11 sacks, according to the Alabama team website last season. The guy is violent. He is explosive with his hands. He is quick with his first step. There's a lot to like about Dallas Turner, and I'll expand on that in just a moment. But first, a quick shout out for our sponsor today, which is Prize Picks. Thanks to Prize Picks, you guys can get started with the #1 largest daily fantasy sports service in North America. The easiest and most exciting way to play DFS, where all you do is pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Prize Picks even offers insurance on injuries so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. So take basketball games, right? If you have a guy who goes down in the first half and doesn't return in the second, that player projection won't count against you and the rest of your entries stay alive. Now, for the 40-yard dash times during the NFL Combine, these were my selections. I took the less on Troy Franklin at 4.36, thinking he's going to run a bit faster than that. I like the less on Mitchell out of Texas, but I like the more on his teammate for his 40-yard dash. So if you like these selections, you like any other selections of your own, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Because I love you guys, I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. Now, like I was just saying a moment ago, signs are pointing to Atlanta going edge at number 8. It's early in the process. The NFL Combine, we got a long way to go, almost 2 months, a little under 2 months now until the NFL Draft. But when you look at some of the Combine meetings they have had so far, are you noticing a bit of a trend? They've met with a lot of edge rushers, and they've met with some DBs as well, and I don't think that because they meet with one guy means they're going to take him. They could come out of that meeting not liking that player, right? It's like speed dating. Just because you go on a date with someone doesn't mean you're going to be dating them long term. But there is definitely a pattern here as to what position the Falcons are looking at. And I think this is with having Justin Fields in mind to try and help the other side of the football after using a second-round pick for the offense, since that's what they would be giving up to go get Justin Fields. Now, who would you rather have with the 8th overall pick, though? Dallas Turner, Malik Nabers, or Brock Bowers? These two guys went right after Dallas Turner in Mel Kiper's most recent mock draft. I'm a big Malik Nabers guy. I think Malik Nabers is going to make as a better NFL player than Dallas Turner will. That's why I'm leaning towards Malik Neighbors. Do you need a wide receiver as bad as an edge rusher? No. But when you're picking 8th overall, once again, you have more than just one need. There are a lot of things that need to get fixed and corrected, and you can't do it all with one pick. So I'd rather go get the best player available. And in my eyes, I think Malik Neighbors is going to be an incredible wide receiver in this league. Now, to wrap up the show, I want to run through the NFLPA's report cards for the Atlanta Falcons, and I want to share with you some of the, it's not quite horror stories, that more belongs to the Washington Commanders report cards, but there are things that Arthur Blank needs to improve on. So let's run through it. Starting with the treatment of families. This I found very interesting because I think a lot of this kind of falls under the radar, but a lot of players are very upset across the league of some teams not providing free daycare. For the Falcons, one thing they noted was they offer daycare on site at games, which is nice, but several players would like to be able to get their family members field passes before the game. As for food and cafeteria, they gave it a C. Good nutritionist and dietitian, that's a bit of a red flag. I want my fatties to be fat, not to be skinny. Locker room, they gave an F. Now, the Falcons are getting a brand new locker room, so this is not surprising that they gave it such a bad grade. It's old, it's dated, but Arthur Blank recognized that, and they should have a brand new locker room for 2024. Players said the toilets are needed and ventilation in the bathroom itself is poor. So just imagine those stink bombs being dropped. Training room got a B-. Players said they have a lot of respect for the staff, but they feel they are short on physical therapists. They need more personnel to help injured players get healthy. That's a bit concerning. Training staff got an A-. Weight room got an F. Let's see what they said about the weight room. They really went in on the weight room here. The Falcons are the only team in the NFL where the majority of players say they would get better strength coaching care off-site from the team. Now, that kind of coincides with the strength coaches, which got an F-. And here's the good news. That guy has been fired, part of the Arthur Smith crew. So the strength coach is getting an F-, and the strength coach in the weight room will hopefully improve. A majority of Falcons believe their facility is no better than off-site locations where they could train. Only 5 other teams in the league have similarly poor impressions on their own weight room. The players have a long list of equipment that they feel any weight room should have that this weight room does not. So clearly a lot of reflection going on when it comes to the Falcons weight room, and hopefully that improves. Team travel got a C. No players are required to have roommates before the games. Some teams make you have roommates. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but whatever. Head coach got a C+. This was related to Arthur Smith, so we can kind of gloss over that. And then Arthur Blank got an A-. Falcons players graded him 9.1 out of 10 when considering his willingness to invest in the facilities. And the Falcons getting a brand new locker room for 2024 definitely shows a willingness to invest. So that's the NFLPA report card for the Atlanta Falcons. Some things to work on, but this is more for Arthur Blank and his team to work on, not so much us. All right, that will do it for us on this edition of Falcons Today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so.